Hello, it's Jay here again and welcome to another tutorial. In this lesson we're continuing on to set up the player health script before we continue on to flesh the script out. Now, at some point in this script the player is going to completely run out of health. Now when that happens we want the game to return to the main menu. So at some point we'll need to load a scene. So first things first, let's come up the very top here, and in order to be able to load a screen we need a new using statement. It can be type Unity engine dot, and it's going to be of type scene management, and we'll close the line off there. Now we'll be using the void start and the void update so we can leave those in place. And we'll come right down to the bottom here. Now before it loads the screen we'll want it to wait a few seconds, just so once the dying animation, which we'll create in a later lesson, has played, we just want it to wait a second or two. So we need another function of type private. Again, because we're returning a numeric value, we need of type IEnumerator. And let's call this wait to load scene. We'll open and close, we'll open and close there. Now please don't worry if you don't understand why we're doing this now. Obviously I'll go through it more in depth as we actually come to start to flesh out these functions. And I'll come below here. Now the next three functions we're going to create will be accessed via different scripts that we'll be creating later. So in order for those scripts to access these functions, they need to be of type public. They can be of type void because they do not return value. And let's call the first one, we'll call this apply damage to player. We'll open and close brackets, we'll open and we'll close there. And we'll just copy this twice. So there's once. And then we'll just swap out the naming convention. So this one, let's call this replenish health. And I'll just change the little typo there. And the next one, we'll call this, let's call this increase max health. So this function will make the script wait for a few seconds before loading a scene. This one I think is fairly self-explanatory. It's when we're applying damage to the player. This one is for when we pick up a health pack, and this one is for when we pick up a special health pack that will permanently increase our maximum health. Now you may not want this function in your game. If that's the case, you can just skip this function completely. The rest of the script will work fine without it. But for those of you that may want it, I'm going to include it in this series. And finally, the last function, we'll just say void on GUI, open and close, we'll open and we'll close again. And please note the capital O, the lowercase n, and then capital GUI. And let's get the debug logs in place. So I'll just copy this one here and we'll paste it in one last time, and we'll just go out and we'll swap out the naming convention. So there's once, twice, two more times. And there we go. So when these are referenced by other scripts, they will be passing a value into this function. Now in order for value to be passed into these functions, we'll need to create a naming convention. So we'll come inside the brackets, and they can be of type int, and the first one we'll call underscore damage amount to player, in replenish health, again of type int underscore, and we'll say let's say replenish health amount, and in increase max health, let's again of type int underscore increase max health amount. And we'll just save this script off here. Now please don't worry again if you do not understand how any of this works, because we will be going over it in depth when we actually come to fill out the functions. But for now we'll leave it there. Now when we downsize monodevelop and we come to console, you will have this red error. Now please don't worry, this will disappear once we fill out this function. So please don't worry about the error for now, and I'll see you next time. So I hope you enjoyed this lesson. I hope to see you next time, and until then, bye for now.